So, hello guys, this is another video for today. So, for this video, I will be teaching you the standard score. So, let us discuss the standard score. So, I have here my PowerPoint presentation. So, standard scores. What do you know about standard scores? So, ito ay continuation ng normal distribution, standard normal distribution. So the standard score or the z-score, it measures how many standard deviation a given value is above or below the mean. So ang mini-measure daw dito is kung ilan yung standard deviation ng mas mataas sa mean or mas mababa sa mean. So we have learned that the mean is at the middle part of the normal curve. So don't forget the normal curve. So we have here the normal curve. Again, i-review natin. Ano nga ulit yung area ng buong normal curve? So very good. The area of the normal curve is equal to 1. Area of the normal curve is equal to 1. And the middle part is D. Ito yung tinatawag nating mean. Yan yung mean, yung nasa gitna. And the interval, yan yung tinatawag nating standard deviation. Let's proceed. So, the standard score is denoted as small z. Denoted as small z. The z-scores are useful in comparing observed values. So, sobrang magagamit daw natin to in terms of comparing observed values. So when we are observing two events, magandang gamitin yung z-score kasi mas madali natin makita. A positive z-score indicates that the score or observed value is above the mean. Pag ang nakuha nating z-score is positive, this, yung observed value is above the mean. Mas mataas siya sa mean. Pero kapag ang z-score natin is negative, therefore, that is below the mean. Matandaan na, if the z-score is positive, above the mean. Above the mean. If the z-score is negative, below the mean. So don't forget that. So later, makikita natin yung kung ano bang meaning nito. And we use this formula to solve for the z-score. So z is equal to x minus x bar, so that is the mean, x minus mean, all over the standard deviation. Or if it is in population, we will be using z is equal to x minus mu all over the standard deviation, although they are just the same. The difference is that ito is ginagamit natin for the sample, and then ito is for the population. So you have learned that pag sinabi nating sample, ano lang siya, part lang. Sample is just part. Yung population is kabuuan. For example, pag sinabi nating students of the Lasalle Cabrojas College Incorporated, lahat ng estudyante. Pag sinabi nating sample, pwedeng grade 7 lang, pwedeng grade 8 lang. Grade 8 lang out of yung buong population, buong estudyante, buong number of students. So again, pag sinabing sample, part lang ng population. Yung population is kabuuan. So where z is the z-score, x is the raw score or observed value, yung x is yung tinitingnan nating value, and then yung x bar or yung mu is mean, and the standard deviation, yung s is the standard deviation or yung sigma natin, that is the standard deviation. Let's have some examples para mas maintindihan. On a final examination in biology, the mean was 75. So ano daw yung mean? So based on the problem, it is equal to 75. And the standard deviation is 12. So ang standard deviation ay 12. Determine the standard score of a student who receive a score of 60, assuming that the scores are normally distributed. So, determine daw natin yung standard score kapag ang nakuha nung kapag ang ino-observe natin is na estudyante ay 60 lang yung nakuha niya. Oh. So ano nga ulit ang mean? So yung mean is equal to 75. Step 1 is to identify the given. So ang x natin is 60. Pag sinabi natin x, yan yung ino-observe natin. Observe value. The mean is equal to 75. Mean is equal to 75. And the standard deviation is equal to 12. Yan. Step 2. Determine the standard score. How are we going to determine the standard score? So we have the formula. Z is equal to x minus mean all over the standard deviation. Ano nga ulit yung x natin? That is equal to 60. What is the mean? That is equal to 75, and the standard deviation is equal to 12. So 60 minus 75 is equal to negative 15 divided by 12 is equal to this is equal to negative 1.25. Negative 1.25. Now, we have to sketch the normal curve and mark the z-score. So we have here. So this is the normal curve. Ano nga ulit yung nasa gitna natin? This is, so ano ha, we will be using this 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, where the mean is equal to 0, the mean is equal to 75, we can assume that this is equal to 75, and the standard deviation is 12. Therefore, 75 plus 12 is equal to 87. 87 plus 12 is equal to 99, and 99 plus 12 is equal to 111. So 75 minus 12 is equal to 63. 63 minus 12 is equal to 51, and 51 minus 12 is equal to 39. So yan yung mga number na yan. Kumbaga, we just used yung 0, 1, 2, 3 para mas madali nating ma-identify. But yung meaning nung mga yan, kumbaga yung verbal interpretation ng 0, 1, 2, 3, ganon, is 75, 87, 99, yung mga yan. So now, ang z-score natin ay negative 1.25. So, dito nakalagay yung negative 1.25. Therefore, as we can see, itong negative 1.25, below the mean ba siya or above the mean? Mas mataas ba siya sa mean or mas mababa sa mean? So, we know that the mean is 75, and then ang nakuha niya lang is 60. Therefore, that is below the mean. And sabi natin kanina, a negative z-score indicates that it is below the mean. And ang nakuha natin ay z is equal to negative 1.25. Therefore, below the mean. So now, we have to interpret the normal curve. We will be interpreting the normal curve. So this indicates that 60 is 1.25 standard deviation below the mean. Okay, next example. Luz scored 90 in an English test and 70 in a physics test. Scores in the English test have a mean of 80 and a standard deviation of 10. Scores in the physics test have a mean of 60 and a standard deviation of 8. In which subject was her standing better, assuming that the scores in her English and physics class are normally distributed? So we cannot say that since 90 yung nakuha ni Luz sa English and then 70 lang sa physics, mas mataas, mas magaling na siya sa English. Not literally like that. Why? Because we have to consider yung mean and the standard deviation. So, let's solve this. But before that, kulang ako ng slide. So, tingnan natin ha. Lucy scored 90. So, in English, score niya ay 90. The mean and the standard deviation is, we have 80 and we have 10. For the physics, ang score niya ay 70. Yung mean and the standard deviation ay 60 and 8. So now let's solve for the z-score. So z is equal to 90 minus 80 over 10. So this is equal to 10 over 10 and this is equal to 1. Therefore, the z-score or the standard score for English is equal to 1. For physics, we have z is equal to 70 minus 60 over 8. So 70 minus 60 is equal to 10 over 8 is equal to 10 divided by 8 is equal to 1.25. So from this, makikita na natin that mas okay yung standing niya sa physics. Why? Kasi mas mataas siya compared dito. So, for the English, andito siya sa 1. And for the physics, if we will be using this, ano na rin, ito yung English natin. And for physics is 1.25, andito siya. Mas mataas siya compared sa English. So therefore, Luz has better standing in physics. Naintindihan ba yon? Now, let's proceed with another example. Last example, in a science test, the mean is 42 and the standard deviation is 5. Assuming that the scores are normally distributed, what percent of the score is, the first one is greater than 48. Mas malaki sa 48. Again, so for a greater than 48, ang mean natin ay 42. And the standard deviation ay 5. So to solve for the z-score, we have 48 minus 42 all over 5. Wait, the question is, what percent? Oh, don't forget that. What percent of the score? Percent ang tinatanong ha. So 48 minus 42 is equal to 6 divided by 5 is equal to 1.2. Greater than 48. So now, tingnan natin. We have 0, we have 1, 2, 3. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Nasaan yung 1.2? Nandito siya. Sabi dyan, greater than, mas malaki. mas malaki sa 48. Ibig sabihin, kapag mas malaki siya sa 48, so, ano ha, don't forget, pag greater than, we have to use a dashed line. Bakit? Kasi it denotes, yung dashed line, dinedenote niya or sinasabi niya that itong natatamaan niya na to, itong 1.2 na to is not part of the solution, parang ganon. It's not part of the solution. Therefore, kasi sabi diyan, di ba, greater than. Pero kapag sinabi natin greater than or equal to, we have to use a solid line. Kapag solid line, sabihin kasali yung 1.2 na yun. So now, we have to shade greater than. Ibig sabihin ng greater than, mas malaki. So, mula dyan sa 1.2, papunta sa right. Bakit papunta sa right? Kasi greater than. So, mas malaki ang 2 kesa sa 1.2, mas malaki ang 3 kesa sa 1.2. So now, since percentage ang tinatanong, tignan natin yung area, kung ano yung, kung ilan yung area na yan. So, the first thing we have to do is to, tignan nyo ha, ito ang shaded part. So, paano natin kukuhanin yung area? So, this is, the area is equal to 0.5. Saan nanggaling yung 0.5? We have learned that the area ng half ay 0.5. Area ng half ay 0.5. So we have to subtract 0.5 with the area of from 0 to 1.2. Tingnan natin yung 1.2, that is 0.3849. 3849. So the area is equal to, we have 0.5 minus 0.3849 is equal to 0.1151. But then we are asked of the percentage. We are asked of the percentage. So, ano daw yung percentage? Sabi dyan, what percent of the score is the person is greater than 48. So, the area, we will just multiply this to 100 or simply move the decimal point twice papunta sa right. I-move natin twice papunta sa right. So, that is 11.51%. Therefore, 11.51% yung greater than 48. Okay? Let's proceed. Naintindihan ba yan? Okay. Less than, how about less than 50? So again, yung mean natin is 42. The standard deviation is 5. Now is less than 50. Kunin natin yung z-score. 50 minus 42 over 5. So don't forget ha, the formula for the z-score is x minus mean all over standard deviation. Baka mamaya, bakit saan nakuha yung mga number na yan? So 50 minus 42 is equal to 8 divided by 5. So 8 divided by 5 is equal to 1.6. So we have this normal curve. 0, 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. So 1.6 is nandito siya. And less than ang ginamit, therefore, hindi kasama yung 1.6. Yan. So, since less than, mas maliit daw sa 1.6. Yung 1 ba, mas maliit sa 1.6? Of course. Yung 2 ba, mas maliit sa 1.6? No. Therefore, we have to shade itong side na to, yung nasa left side. Yung buong yan. O, yung isang tip na sinabi ko sa inyo, kapag lumagpas sa, kapag na-shadean pati yung nasa gitna, kailangan nating mag-add tayo. What are we going to add? Of course, the area is equal to 0.5 kasi nga half na yan plus yung area ng 1.6 and the area of 1.6 is 0.4452. So the area is equal to 0.9452 and we are asked of the percentage, therefore we have to move the decimal point twice papunta sa right, therefore the area is 94 92.52%. Therefore, less than 50, lahat ng nakakuha ng mas mababa sa 50 ay 94.52%. Lahat, halos lahat. Halos lahat na nag-take ng exam is less than 50 ang nakuha. Lastly, between 30 and 48, nasa gitna ng 30 and 48. Nasa gitna ng 30 and 48. So the mean is 42 and the standard deviation is 5. Tingnan muna natin yung sa 30. The z-score is equal to x minus the mean all over the standard deviation. So we have 30 minus 42 over 5. So this is equal to 30 minus 42 is negative 12 divided by 5 is equal to negative 12 divided by 5 is equal to negative 2.4. And then the second one is z is equal to 48 minus 42 all over 5. This is equal to 6 over 5 or simply 1.2. So now, let us sketch it sa graph. Sketch natin yung graph. 0, 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. So 1.2 is nandito. So yan. And then 2.4, negative 2.4 is nandito. Between, ibig sabihin, we have to shade this all. Shade natin yung buong yan. So since na-shadean din natin yung mean natin, the middle part, are we going to add or not? Very good. We are going to add. Kasi nga, na-shadean. Pero what are we going to add? First is, area sub 1 is yung negative 2.4. 2.4 is 4918. 0.4918. The area sub 2 is equal to yung 1.2 natin. 1.2 is 0.3849. Therefore, the area is equal to 0.4918 plus 0.3849, and this is equal to 0.4918 plus 0.3849. This is equal to 0.8767, and it is equal to 87.67%. Therefore, the area between 30 and 48 is 87.67. So that's how we solve for the z-score, for the standard score, and then that's how we apply given the problems, yung mga problems na yan. So I hope that you learned the standard score, the z-score, and again baka mamaya nagtataka kayo saan nakuha yung 0.4918 na yan. So yung mga yan ay nakuha natin sa appendix part ng libro ninyo, yung areas under the standard normal curve. Ayan, areas under, yan. So, hindi ko yan hinulaan, hindi ko yan basta nilagay. Lahat yan ang galing dito. So, if you have questions, just mag-comment lang kayo below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Yun lang, I hope you learned something today. Goodbye.